Hey, what's up, guys? Zach here. Hope you're having a great day. In this video, I'm going to show you how to read construction plans, how to read construction drawings, what to expect, and I'm even going to show you a quick before and after. This is it's funny because this is the before satellite view of the RV park. Whenever we purchased it, it had 19 spaces. To be honest with you, it was a complete crap hole, but we fixed it up, did a total remodel, and I'm going to teach you. It's a 5-acre case study here. I'm going to teach you how to read construction drawings, like what you need to know, how you read them, and if you can read them, you can way better plan, and you can kind of partner alongside your general contractor or your civil contractor or your engineer as you kind of work together. It just makes back and forth much better, much smoother, much faster as you run the project. Because what we do is we look for RV parks that are already built and have expansion space that we can expand into. And of course, obviously turn into revenue. That's where our expansion budget comes in. And of course, it makes a lot more deals, a lot more attractive because you can add value by adding spaces. Okay. So this right here is kind of what we purchased. This is a while ago now. So I'm kind of laughing, looking at this. This is what it was like. This was it. And of course, as you can imagine, this is actually the demo plan. So this was pretty kind of misconjointed. We got 2 roads here. We got this road that's not straight. We got this random asphalt pads here. So if you see where it says asphalt and it changes color, that means that the paving structure is different. Where the gravel is, these little lines represent that. Where these little trees are in circles, these are trees, okay? And it's highlighting or circling what we're going to demo. Of course, we're going to try to keep trees if we can. So we have some trees here. And of course, this entire plan probably changed whenever we're out there, but we kept a lot more trees. But certain ones just had to go, right? So we had to at least visualize it. And right here, what you have in the gray is these septic fields that are already there. So we had existing septic fields, and we had to add 2 more and expand and finish one. So whenever you look at plans, it's important to note that there's typically a gray layer, which is probably what's there, and then a darker shade or a darker, ink, if you want to put it that way. That is what is proposed most of the time. Okay, so we're going to kind of run through this. Just want to show you. We had a well here. We had to remove the well, plug the well because the well was too close to the septic field. It was a whole thing. Man, drilling a well is really hard. We're never doing that again. I don't recommend it. Also, if you look here, demolition legend, right? So it shows how much square footage of asphalt has to be demolished. How much gravel has to be demolished, and so you kind of read your keys or your legends, and it helps you understand what's what. All right, so here's what the plan was, what the plan ended up being, and we got pretty close to this actually. I'm looking back, was very, very impressive. So we drilled the well over here, as it stated here. You can actually see where the spaces are going to go, what their lengths are, what the space in between is, what the widths of the spaces are. So you're looking for numbers, you're looking for indications of important items. Of course, this could possibly change in the field. And let me tell you something, it always changes in the field, but it's just kind of gets you going, okay? Get you understanding what the key elements are, key points are really, really important. So if you look here, I already know what all this is, so I'm gonna go pretty fast, but yeah, so there is septic insulation on here and water lines. So I'm going to kind of come over here and I'm going to scroll down. So you see here's our PROP. It's always proposed. Okay, proposed well by others. Okay, so someone drills the well. This line right here is just a water line. It's a PVC line. And you can see where the cutoffs are. R stands for radius, R 44 feet. And the water line comes down. It kind of has this main trunk line that goes around in a big circle. And then you have these feeder lines that come off of it. And right here, this little black dot, this represents where the water is going to appear out of the ground. Okay. Not very easy to see visually on these plans, but if you know what you're looking for, you kind of know what it is pretty quickly. Also, too, you have these triangles. These triangles represent the septic inlets. And the angle or this little arrow represents flow. So we have right here is actually this little square that's called a trash tank. So you have septic inlets, you have the flow where the septic's going, and then you have these little trash tanks as well too. As you can see, there's a lot going on underground. There's so much happening underground. You have to have a really good plan and really know what you're doing prior to building. The last thing is the pad. The last thing is the RV pad or in the roads. The first thing though is all your utilities. So your plumbing, your septic, and of course your electric, which is also basically basically we didn't have plans for electric. We had that go first, and he went really, really fast. We marked where all the pedestals were going to go, and we had the electrical contractor just basically dig and run his lines, and he was actually very, very fast. It was incredible how fast he was. Now you can see here we have these septic fields, proposed septic fields. These are based on the engineer's design. So you have a civil engineer work with a septic guy, or et cetera. You have to have approved septic, at least in Texas where I am, you have to have approved septic plans before you go install septic fields. This is where the septic lines, drip to. As you can see, they're going here through the trash tanks into this little field, and they kind of leach into the ground. And all these fields kind of help certain sections of the park. And over time, as you kind of work through and cut through your plans, you understand what goes where, and then what really truly, which septic fields are fed by which RV spaces. Okay. So we had an already approved septic field 2, and actually, I'm sorry, 1 or half of 1, basically half of 1 and 3 were already approved. So we were using them. So we had the full spaces that were being full already back here, and they're paying us every month. So we left them there, and we work on the back first. Okay. So we called this back portion phase 2. Took us a lot of work. It was very intricate to get it exactly right. We had to clear out a lot of land, of course. Clearing land is actually not too hard. Demoing trees is not too hard, but it's just getting everything laid out perfectly. That's what's tough. When we make one change, it affects everything, right? Like a domino effect. So this right here is the west side of the park. This is called phase 2. You can see a lot going on here. That there is existing underground septic already that's being used. We ended up reusing most of it, which is good. But we have to, tie into it, right? So people can't be there for phase 2, but they can be obviously whenever we're doing phase 2. So what we did was, our goal was to get phase 1 done first. So you can see here we have different types of plumbing, and you can even see this is helpful for your plumbing commercial plumber. You send these plans to them, they can come back with some takeoff, which takeoffs mean quantity takeoffs. What's the quantities of stuff? And then once they have the quantities, they know how much line they're going to run. They can give you an estimate for cost. Okay, plumbing they did cost much less than septic did, which was nice. It's just kind of be aware of that. And you'll see here you got footage here. You also have, let's see, you have 5-inch minimum separation. So that is 5 foot minimum SEP separation. So we have to have separation from I think it's the septic inlets and the water inlets, which there's all these I think it's actually 9 feet. The engineer knows all these things, and by the back of their hand, they all know all these requirements, so you can get septic approved. Also you see here these little black boxes. Those represent trash tanks. Okay, 4-inch SHC 40 PVC sanitary lead. This is a 4-inch Schedule 40 PVC sanitary lead. This is just a 4-inch PVC pipe that's for sanitary. So in this case, for septic, right? Not for water, for septic. So you can see here, 2-inch GV, 2-inch galvanized, maybe that's probably what that means. 2-inch by 45-degree bend. So this is just a joint or something that the plumbing bends to, right? So as you kind of read through this, you get a better feel for what these specific components are, what goes where, why it goes there, and you kind of understand it over time. You also see kind of also, it's a little bit easier on the outside radius here. You can see which each space has a septic inlet, right? So this space right here, this space right here, this space right here, et cetera. So you can see all that. And of course, you can also see where it goes to. So obviously, it's going to be going this way towards the septic field, right? Which means you have to have fall. Well, we ended up having a problem where we didn't have fall for two different septic fields, which should have been caught by the engineer. It was a whole thing. Not having fall required us to install lift tanks. The lift tank is not only expensive, but also we had to get approved by the county. It delayed our county approvals, and man, time is money. Delay is never good. So it took forever to get approval, but we did it. So this is what phase 2 looked like. Once we finished this side, we moved everyone over here to the east side of the park, and then we started doing phase 2. Phase 2 actually went pretty quickly and was smoothly because we knew what we're doing now. We were going fast, had a little system at play. So that's what we did. So you can see there's a lot happening here, especially a lot happening underground. That's why I try to document it in the previous videos. Just really, really cool to see. And of course, we ended up, let's see, we ended up with 50 spaces. And one of the reasons why is because we wanted to avoid, I think it's called groundwater tanks. Are pretty expensive, which I think beyond 50 spaces, those are required in the county. Anyways, what we ended up with, this is actually, what plan is this? This is a split plan. I don't care about that right now. And here's some details. Yeah, so let's go up here to page 3. Yep, so we ended up with 50 spaces. So we lost our 54 space, was initially how many we were going to be having to have in the park. But how we phased it, how we went about it, what approvals we got, all that mattered. So much happens in the planning stage. So just be mindful that you really got to make sure you have a wide enough road. You got to make sure you have good enough turning radiuses. You make sure you get big enough spaces. That there's a lot of planning involved. And the most time-intensive portion of this whole deal is planning. But of course, when you finish, it looks beautiful, looks awesome, and hopefully very, very profitable. The more beautiful your park looks, the more folks are going to want to stay there, and easier it is to convert. I tell you that right now. Everyone says our park looks amazing, so they buy it really quickly. Of course, we're priced right to win as well. So hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have any questions. A lot goes on into the planning stage. Get you a good local engineer who knows the local laws and permitting requirements. That is your first step. All right, talk soon.